Okay. So as we just left off, Blackfeather is showing the screen indicating he has accidentally sent in a request for help and given his current location to Knight Errant.
No, my comm link was damaged in the fight.
Right. Actually, yeah. Let's find out super quick. Why don't you roll a con? I feel like we should do some justice to the other players here. And everybody can roll their con plus charisma with a threshold of 4 there. If you don't have the con skill, you just take your charisma -1.
Threshold of 7. I will spend edge on that.
Cool.
I can't even buy a hit on con or judge intention, so I'm not going to try. It sounds believable to me.
I would roll 1 dice, so...
Yep, alright, that's 2 that believe it.
Let's see.
Alright. I believe...
Yeah, I think Mr. X would believe it.
Blackfeather's story seems compelling enough, and without much of a thought, you guys jump up and react. So essentially, we're going to montage the first half of this. Over the next 20 minutes, the community essentially reacts by panic at first, and then some of the more strapping lads begin to collect things and with your help, get people sort of organized and found and accounted for, and yeah, essentially they very quickly try to pack up things that are the most important to them, and they all meet near that guard tower, the guard post that you guys came in by.
Yeah. Okay. I sort of just say out loud, just to no one in particular. It's like, looks like those devil rats made short work on those orcs and trolls.
I mean, like, one of the ghouls standing next to you, like sort of talking to a small family, like stops and he turns and he gives you a look. Well, not with his eyes, but just his blank, expressionless face. And he says, "Yeah, devil rats," and just like from his jaw to his chin is currently just soaked blood red.
Yeah.
And then
Blue will look at Thomas and, why don't you go to Puyallup and force out one of the gangs somewhere? There's better hunting down there.
Yeah, the only path that we knew was cut off with the explosion last year. Do you think we could travel above ground? It's not yet sunrise. You're looking out onto a group of about 40 ghouls or so.
This many people do not need to be above ground.
We could hide. You've spoke of the hunting grounds, the nooks there. We could wait it out, possibly go in smaller groups to this other district.
Yeah, if we go above ground, it'd have to be in like small groups, but I imagine Knight Errant will be coming in through that way, so.
If they even know how to get here.
That's true. I mean, I don't know how to get here.
Thomas is going to sort of instinctually kind of puts a hand up to his chest, as if he's sort of like feeling a wound, and he says, "They know how to get here."
Fortunate. I think hiding probably be our best option.
Let's go to the hunting grounds.
Yeah.
So Thomas will nod. The large giant, whose name you've learned is Reinhardt, cracks a very large grin, and he says, "Hunt," which is the first word you've heard him say in English.
I have any idea what's in there with one hit? I guess there's critters. Probably critters.
I mean, this is for intents and purposes somewhere you're familiar with. Although what's currently there, maybe you're not super sure on. You've been busy, obviously. Um, devil rats are common, although hardly a large threat outside of their numbers. Most recently, you remember there being, oh god, I just forgot the name of the creature, which is probably an indication that it's not involved. Yeah, things like hellhounds will sometimes find their way down here and use these areas basically as their own hunting grounds, and are somewhat protective of the area.
Fire-breathing dogs. Awesome.
But what's currently there, you're not sure. It's been some time since you've gone.
Right. So I guess we head in there.
Yeah, so you guys will make off back the direction you came, in tow now with an entire community of ghouls. And you see, I mean, these are not just alpha male fighter types. These are people. They have families. They have personal possessions. They are not all soldiers, and they're quietly walking. Most of them seemingly staring, at least at times, towards Blackfeather. But if you turn to look at them, they'll always look away and back to just looking in front of them. And it's a little bit long going with this big group, but you eventually get back to the scene of the ambush, and Thomas and Reinhardt kind of turn and gesture for the direction down the other path.
I take some time to clear the astral signatures of my spellcasting in the area.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
I just keep walking. Mr. X just keeps going.
Yeah, one of the ghouls will kind of like stop there, and then like kind of jogs forward and grabs the leather satchel, and kind of opens it up and looks and sort of smiles, and then sort of tosses it over his shoulder as if he's happy he just found the new bag.
So as we're heading into the hunting grounds, I'm going to pull my ballistic mask down over my face and sort of like ready my pistol as well.
Did they have any of the armor and clothing that the people were wearing? Did they bring that with them?
Oh, like from the gangers?
Yeah.
Yeah, you recognize some of the individuals amongst the community are now wearing essentially the tattered remains of the armors that you saw.
And I stop for a moment and look up to where the sky should be and say a silent prayer to Raven and turn to Thomas and the rest of the runners. We could turn this into an opportunity.
How do you mean?
You wanted to implicate the 163s in something that would catch the attention of someone important.
Could, yeah. There's some bodies back there that are definitely look like they've been eaten. If I just sort of look around, if we could convince them we were attacked by the 162s and that those gangers were our friends while the ghouls hid, it could work. It would require some convincing.
Or we can just lay a convincing scene here. I don't think it would be enough for everything, but it might throw a little bit.
I sort of look at Blackfeather and I'm just like, well, they are expecting somebody here who had issues with gangers. Maybe only a few of us stay.
And I like fish my comlink out of my pocket and I sigh deeply, thinking of how expensive it was. And how expensive the sin attached to it was. And say, maybe the call that went out, that person wasn't that lucky.
Yeah,
Well,
that-
plenty of people weren't that lucky. Why don't you two just lie to them and tell them that you were attacked?
I have a wound on my neck that looks like it's been healed, and I'm a little bit bruised. I'm sure I could pull off being attacked.
Blackfeather, you look like shit.
Yeah.
Maybe don't let him talk.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured that is our best plan. We should probably go. What is something we can make it look like let's attack these people? Well, they already do look like let's attack these people. How do we get away? We need a story. We need a plausible
bodies
explanation.
are fucked up. Does anyone have grenades or an explosive?
And how come we didn't kill any of them? What are we doing down here?
If we drag the bodies next to the explosion, then we can just say that
They were ghouls. Yes.
they were chasing us, shouting something about the 167. Was it 162?
162. Don't let him talk. I'm telling you, don't let
Yeah.
him talk.
Yeah.
Why don't you start running? You look like you've healed. You look like you're roughed up as it is, and I'll look up and down at Mr. X's suit. Just start
not
running
wearing-
toward them.
Mr. X isn't wearing a suit right now. He's got his armored jacket on.
It's
He's
probably
tight.
still covered in a little bit of his blood or something from
He
the
wiped
the rest.
blood on his
Yeah.
jacket earlier, so
Oh,
definitely.
very particularly, Blue, when you cut the throat of that one orc, it spewed blood onto Mr. X, so yeah.
Yeah.
And I will
Okay.
turn to Thomas and ask, as in my most I know that what I'm asking is terrible, but have any of your people fallen recently?
It would need to be as fresh as today. The
Yes, it would be.
investigator would know if it's been dead too long. You don't have to have killed some of them. You just have to have escaped. Most people see the 162s there run. Sort of wish I did.
So our story is we were down here with our orc friends. We were attacked by the 162s. Me and Blackfeather escaped. Well, you guys hide.
And
You mentioned.
Why are we down here, though? That's going to be asked. Why were we down here?
why were we down here?
Yes. Has to be plausible.
Humanitarian workers.
An elf and another elf. That could work. I
You were
could.
buying drugs. There's many reasons to come down here.
I don't know if I want to
Looking
tell
for-
Knight Errant I was buying drugs.
Perhaps you were looking for someone, particularly him. And she'll point at Ruben. He won't be with you anyway. The 162s will often deal in cyberware. Your legs would fetch a pretty penny.
That's
And-
true.
I hate to ask the obvious, but the 162s, what are their colors? What do they look like when I need to describe them?
I can probably recount that, right? What do I got for memory? Got 8 dice in memory.
Yeah, I think you deal with them enough to remember. I am taking a quick look to see if I remember. I think red and brown? Yeah, 3 heads, yeah. Red, you know it's a red and brown motif.
Oh god, my smile is going to be a problem. Oh
You're smiling like I'm in a lot of danger. And
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you
Yeah.
sure? Or are you just
That's
high?"
fine. I can slap a stim patch on you and just tell them that it's the drugs.
Ah, yes. Okay.
And yeah, I'll take some time to like listen and make very careful notes of what they look like, any details of anyone in particular.
Okay. So our plan is we are going to convince Knight Errant that we were attacked by the 162s. Several of our friends were exploded and eaten. Or we assume were eaten. We managed to escape just in time.
Can I help at all? Like with what the police might do, since I have law enforcement procedures.
Ah, yeah, absolutely. Go and roll that up.
I have a skill that's relevant.
It's not punching. Yeah, it's super cool. As we learned off camera before the run, the character of Ruban was briefly a member of most likely the Knight Errant police force. Although his time on the righteous path was cut short because of his temper and disposition towards beating people senseless. Although normally trained by Knight Errant to do so, he seemed to have beaten somebody that he was not supposed to. Found
Have you
himself
considered moving
kicked
to
in the shin.
Renton? There's a neighborhood watch who would probably really appreciate having you on their
I was gonna ask him about that after. So yeah,
Okay. So let's go grab those bodies and drag them in here.
So yeah, I think with Ruben's basic knowledge of what's going to happen, he'll be able to. Ruben, you would know, basically the do's and don'ts. What they need to do, like don't leave your hands in your pockets. Don't say that you're harboring a group of ghouls that just feasted on people.
I will also take my pistol that I used to shoot a guy and look between Ruben and Blue and hold it out, butt first.
I'll hold on to it.
One of them is shot in the chest with flechette rounds. Good thinking. I sort of pull out my pistol and I'm gonna fire off a few rounds. Just
You probably hit like a family of ghouls off to the side.
what? I'm not aiming anywhere near them.
No, I know. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I'm gonna fire a few rounds, just make it look like, well, they're probably close anyways. They hear those rounds, it'll make it more believable.
Yeah, and basically I shed anything that looks sketchy on me, except for I keep my taser.
Oh, I don't want to say I got scratched by a ghoul either. That would probably.
You got scratched by a devil rat.
Yeah, a devil rat.
You should definitely not mention the ghoul thing.
No. Okay, let's do this.
Okay. Thomas looks between you, and he's gonna walk up, and he kind of like goes to like reach an arm out, but then stops, and we'll just sort of ball it into a fist and put it back to his side, and he'll say, "Thank you. This will buy us the time we need." And as he looks towards Blackfeather and Mr. X with a strong nod.
I'll go to offer him a fist bump instead.
He will look at your fist, and then very, very carefully just take a step backwards and say, "Good luck."
Make sure you hide well. We don't want them seeing you because they're gonna think you're 162s. They will be violent. Okay, let's go. I just motion to Blackfeather.
Yeah, the two of you will begin to saunter back north up the.
Yeah, we don't know how to get out of here either, so that helps.
Yeah, when asked by the police, if you know where you are and you say no, the answer will be quite honest.
Truthful. Yeah.
Yeah, when we're far enough away, I'll turn my comm link back on.
Cool. Yeah, and then Blue and Ruben, Reinhardt sort of like comes into the view of both of you, and he says, "Hunt."
Yeah.
I'm down.
Hunt, and then he turns and begins to walk off into the east. There's a group of two others with him. They both look like maybe human ghouls, and they sort of they walk backwards a few steps, like sort of watching for you two to like start coming with them, and then as you do, they'll turn and just begin to walk with Reinhardt. Everybody else is sort of standing off to the sides of this tunnel, just sort of watching you guys as you head towards the hunting ground.
So as me and Blackfeather heading out, I suggest we start running as fast as we can, and we also I ask him how good are you at convincing people?
What? Why would you ask? I don't know what you mean by that.
He just sort of squints his eyes. Well, we're about to convince Knight Errant we were.
Oh, yes, I am, and I'll give him a wink. Raven
Okay.
blesses his chosen.
Let's do this then. I start sprinting down, and I'm gonna start screaming in Cantonese.
Does that sound any different than screaming in English?
No, but it's in Cantonese. That way, if I have a reason, I can give broken English to them. Try and make it less likely I'm lying.
Okay. Thematically, that's a thing. Keep in mind that with social checks in another language, the rating of your skill sets the amount of hits you can keep.
Never mind then. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not very good at speaking Cantonese, especially not right now. Okay, I'm just gonna start screaming, just at the top of not at the top of my lungs, because I can go up to like 100 decibels with it.
You know, say you've got modified voice range.
Yeah, I'm gonna scream fairly loud. Loud as like a normal person would be able to scream.
And
Cool.
there'll be shouting behind him. Quiet! They could still be after us.
Yeah, and then I'll quiet down and keep running.
All right, awesome. Yeah, you guys, Ruben and Blue, you guys can hear the screams of your two friends at first in Cantonese and then just in English as they get further and further away. All right, let's go ahead and I'll jump over here. You guys, so heading to the east, Blue and Ruben, you guys walk for some time. Eventually, you find yourselves as the system begins to open up into what Blue knows as the hunting grounds. The area itself opens into a large chamber, several concrete pillars holding up the area. It seemed to maybe once be the basement or sub-basement of some sort of warehouse, maybe a large building. It's hard to tell from here. You can see where essentially the staircase has been lost to cave in, but the area itself is mostly untouched. Some large sections of the room to the south have been turned into nesting areas for various creatures. Currently prowling about. On the other side of the warehouse, you see, or you can make out 4 distinct shapes of dog-like creatures.
Blue's Ruben, we go kill them. Tame one. I'm not good at it.
I mean, I would if I could, but I wouldn't even know where to start.
Punch it.
Ruben, you get poked in the back by a very very large fist. And you turn, you see, you look instinctually straight back, and you're staring basically at the waist. And you look up, and the extra 6 feet, and there's Reinhardt. He says, "Hunt."
All right. Then I'm going to pull out Blackhawk's Warhawk in one hand and my room sweeper in the other.
No, we took your room sweeper. Because one of the... Oh, no, we didn't. No, that wouldn't make sense. The orcs were our friends. Never mind.
And
My Super Warhack has a holographic sight, a personalized grip, a 1-speed loader with 5 rounds of APDS in it, and is currently, when I headed to you, would have been loaded with 6 rounds of Stick and Shock.
all right.
Smart thinking to give the APDS to someone else.
Oh, yeah, shit. Well, as I'm running, I sort of think of this, and I sort of just quickly just eject the APDS clip in it and just throw it away.
He's
Grab
gonna
a
ditch it.
regular. Just gonna ditch it and then just grab a regular magazine and fire a few more shots running backwards.
All right.
Don't you have a smuggling compartment in your leg?
I do. That's true. I'll just shove it myself.
I
Smuggling.
mean, you could. It would be a negative to perception check. So there's still a chance they find it, but throwing it away might be safer. But,
Yeah, I'll just throw it away. I'll just throw it away. I can pick up another magazine easy. Easy enough, anyways. It's only 15 rounds. Or 13. 12.
Can I roll stealth to sneak up on them?
Yeah, I think so. So currently they're on the other side of the warehouse. They're just sort of meandering around. 2 of them are kind of wrestling with something. You can't really make out from this distance. You can definitely roll sneak to try to get closer.
Stealthy as a steamroller. And I guess I'm moving up from there, up until the point they notice me.
Yeah, I forgot to actually pull up the encounter ability.
They attack them now and they haven't seen you. You can get a free hit on them if they haven't noticed you.
Let us see. What's the what's distracted? Is that -6 to perception?
Oh, it's -3.
I'll be right back.
Let's see. 2 of them are not distracted. Let's see if they notice.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Ruben, you begin to crouch and kind of take a few steps forward. You turn and look back at the group who's sort of just waiting in the entrance of the tunnel. You turn and then continue forward. As you turn and continue forward another step, you carefully put your foot down, trying to maintain your stealth, and then we hear across the warehouse here, just very slowly, the sound of a rubber-soled boot as it smooshes across a half-broken light bulb, and just and just very slowly shatters, and then you kind of look up, and the all 4 of the hounds sort of stop and look.
Well, fuck it. It's a fair fight now. And I shall fire if I'm allowed still.
Let's roll initiative. Do you have animal handling by chance? I know it's a crazy long shot for Ruben, but
No.
roll me your charisma -1. I won't hold you to a glitch if this happens. All right. Yeah, you crash the light bulb. The hounds look up. You're looking at them, and then like you very slowly like just raised your pistol, and we'll see who goes first.
I have a adrenaline surge.
Oh, you forgot to mention that during the ambush.
No,
Wait,
I did.
You went first anyways, didn't
I did mention it. I just didn't say it out loud because I didn't
Oh,
want
okay.
to overtalk you.
Oops. Reinhardt's gonna tap you on the shoulder, Blue, and say, "Hunt."
She'll just nod to him.
In the affirmative.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ruben, you've got your pistol leveled at them. You're first. I guess you have somebody else's pistol, right?
No, I have mine.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that should have been 10d6 because of range modifiers. I can re-roll if you want.
No, that's fine. We'll just knock the last dice off these rolls generally, so that'll bring it down to 5 hit. That's not. All right, that'll give you 3 net hit.
All right, that was with my Remington. So what that would be 13p minus 5 AP.
Yeah, you just shred the first one as it lunges towards you. It just drops in its track. And now the other 3 will descend on you.
I would like to go full defense.
That's fair. That's fair. Let us see. I do not use hellhounds very often. I believe they have fun things they can do. The first one, before it gets to you, is going to let out a sharp howl, and then it's going to spit fire at you.
Now I really want to trade one.
So a giant ball of fire comes flying your way. Go ahead and try to dodge.
Just reaction.
Standard defense test: reaction plus intuition, plus your full defense. Wow, the damage on this thing. Good luck. It flies over your shoulder and smashes against the wall, exploding. And then the next 2 are going to charge you. So this will be at a -1 to your defense. And this will be at a -2 to your defense. You're fine.
Nice.
It only kept getting better.
Yeah, that was very nice. Blue, you're next.
Oh, all right. See here. I will Ruben's using melee combat.
He's actually holding a gun right now.
He's
Two
holding a
guns.
gun, but he's in melee combat.
Yeah,
Okay.
he seems to have been swarmed.
Yeah, but I know Hellhounds to be. Yeah, I'll fire my bow. I'll stick with my bow. I was gonna get in melee combat with him and give him a bonus, but he's doing fine. So I will just fire an arrow. Not very good with that. But they do get a -3 for being in melee combat with Ruben, if you want to count that. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Because he's not
They're
really
somewhat
actually
focused.
hitting at them, but.
Yeah, you managed to get the hind of one of them with 2 net hits.
Is there enough room that I can start trying to get move around behind them?
Absolutely, yeah. This is like a very large, like, sort of warehouse. Warehouse seems like to be a sub basement of a warehouse you've entered.
Oh, alright. Yeah, I don't know if I have enough movement at only having like 8 before I get into running, but I'll just start to move behind them. So if I do get another shot, I will hopefully get position on them.
Cool.
Otherwise, it's 9p -4. 2 nets.
Nice.
All right. Blue, make me an audio or smelling perception.
Okay, I should have a bonus to both of them, but I like to smell first.
Yeah, 2 hits is enough. Getting the distinct smell of these hellhounds, and being a trained hunter that you are, you recognize that the scent is far too strong for it to only be these 4.
Okay.
You don't see them, but there must be more somewhere.
I'll say as much to Ruben.
Well, this sounds a lot more fun then.
And Reinhardt, the large giant, will begin to just slowly and excitedly walk forward. He's like stretching his hands, sort of finger by finger in a wave as he's preparing, just with the other hand, just like slowly rolling up the sleeve of his shirt just a little bit. All right, then we're at the top of the round. Don't forget Ruben. You have full defense. Okay, so the hounds, and they're going to go before you go again. So what were you at? You were at a -2 before.
Yeah.
The hounds themselves are going to start to sort of encircle you. And as they do, lash out at you at random intervals. So let's see. Yeah, I'll do the attack and then we'll figure out your modifiers. Actually, what are my modifiers? I have +2 for friends in melee. Yeah. I don't think hellhounds have pack anything. No. Okay. So you're at a -2. You'll be at a -3, and what did we just learn, Nicoya, about flanking? It's a +2 to the attack,
If
isn't
they're
it?
It's a +2 to the attack. If they're
Alright, hang on.
behind him, and they get +1 for friends of melee, so a total of +3.
So yeah, roll at a -3 to your defense.
Well, that was close.
It
Wait.
was.
Oh yeah, meter defeat.
Okay, and then the next one. This will be at a -4.
I'm gonna take this one. So 2 hits.
Oh, did you roll above?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I see it. All right, so 2 net hits that you'll resist 9p minus 1. As one of them manages to sink their claws into you.
And it's armor and body, or just armor?
Armor and body. Standard soak roll. They're chomping at your midsection. This one managed to get a bite on your rib. But yeah, your armor prevents it from sinking in too deep. Third one is going to take a step back. Would you? Oh, you don't have the initiative to do it. So he takes a step back, and he is going to attempt to throw fire at you. This will be at a -5 now, I believe.
Slowly chipping away my defense.
All right, but still enough. And that'll bring us to you now.
I'm shooting the one in the middle, because, yeah.
Yeah, you can see an arrow sticking out of the one to the south, but the one in the middle is the one that just got a piece of your rib.
Yeah. Do I have any other modifiers, negative modifiers, because I can combat with 2 of them, just the normal melee?
Are you shooting or melee?
Shooting.
So yeah, just the -2, I believe, that you normally suffer for shooting into melee as Ruben.
All right.
Wow, yeah, no, you connect.
Nice.
What's the damage code with 2 net
Yeah.
hits? All right. How many boxes do these guys have? Okay. He's still standing, but you put a bullet straight into his chest, and he lets out a sharp howl. Blue, you're up. You could definitely get to behind that target now if you wanted to continue forward.
Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll get behind him and then just fire an arrow at him. Just give me 14. I'll edge that. Keep 7 of them.
Oh, wow.
8 XP.
Wow. Good thing you edged it.
Me 10p minus 4.
Yeah, you put him down. The arrow goes exactly where you need it to deal the damage without damaging the kill. Then Reinhardt will step forward. He leans down, and Ruben, you can kind of hear under his breath, he's just saying, "Hunt, hunt, hunt," and he grabs the dog by the scruff and just lifts it into the air, and then he is going to throw it. and with a bit of a whimper, he grabs the dog by the scruff and then just throws it as hard as he can towards the wall here. The dog kind of lets out a yelp as it crashes against the concrete wall and then hits the ground pretty hard. Seems to be badly wounded from it, but still up. All right. Ruben.
Ease.
Roll me your willpower plus logic.
I pass.
You are overwhelmed with a sudden sense of just dread and fear. All around you, your allies are winning this combat. But as you look into the eyes of the wounded beast in front of you, they sort of flash with like a solid blackness for a moment, and you can see your reflection in his eyes, and you can see as he's going to lunge towards you, and he's almost certainly going to get you this next time. He's going to shred you to pieces. He's going to eat you, devour your soul. Your only course of action for the next 2 combat turns is to run for your life. You must get away from this thing.
Not again.
And so, what's your movement rate?
It is 12:24.
Okay, and you use 12 to get that far. So yeah, you just immediately are going to turn and just take off in the direction that you came. You can get to about to where I'm pointing there, as you're just overwhelmed with this magical fear. The other dog gives a similar look towards Reinhardt, and Reinhardt just sort of stands there and stares back at it as menacingly as it stared at him. And then we will roll initiative again. I believe that was everybody. Ruben, you're essentially... Oh, wait, no, Blue. Wait. Did I do that right? Yeah, no, that was the end of the pass. Yeah, we can re-roll initiative.
I hit enter and I thought I rolled an 8 for a second. I was like, what the hell?
I just lost my icon. Why can't I click on it?
It's probably because you were on the measuring tape.
No, I just made one of the dogs on the GM layer, and now I can't get it back. There it is. All right, cool. Okay. Ruben, you're up. You are still under the effects of fear. You need to break line of sight with this brownish dog.
Can I run straight down?
Oh yeah, like past blue down here.
Yeah.
Totally. If you get to, about here-ish, there's a nook you can hide in. And then,
I can get about there.
cool. Yeah, you feel a sense of security as you no longer can see it over your shoulder, but you know it's there. You know it's just around the corner and it's coming. All right, dog to the north spits fire at Reinhardt, which does not hit. Then from the south, I believe, let's do this one correctly. A new combatant is entering the fray. You knew that there existed, but you did not know where they were. I believe that is unable to be unaware because you're in combat, but they get a +2 for being superior position.
A superior position only matters if he's behind me. As far as I would roll a surprise check with a +3 because I have an alert.
That's what it was. Cool. Let's make that surprise check.
Alright. And then I think everyone has to, but it's up to you if you feel that he knew. Did he know I was there? If he was not tracking me on open ground, then he also has to make one. If he's tracking me up open ground, then he's automatically not surprised.
Yeah, I think he was aware of your existence and was
Okay.
was just prowling ahead as he rounds the corner. You could see him out of the corner of your eye as a ball of fire comes your way.
Sounds good.
Dodge 1.
Probably harder than you think.
You're not exactly a dodge
There you
tank. Yep.
Well,
That'll
I'm
be,
not a tank. I'm also suffering 2 wound modifiers.
Yeah, that'll be 11p fire damage at a -5 armor bent.
Okay.
Yeah, as fiery acid or a fiery spit just sort of explodes and engulfs blue momentarily or temporarily.
Like 5. What was it? -5.
-5.
Yeah, I'll take 5 stun damage.
5 stun damage, and I believe you're now on fire.
I have to roll my gear. I think I have to make a roll to see if that's the case.
That's right. See if it caught fire.
I can look that way.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I appreciated that. Obviously, was not intending that or intending this, but I want to see if you catch fire. We'll move on to the one that feared you. Yeah, he's probably just gonna go. And is unable to get his teeth into Reinhardt. You find the roll for it?
How much was the damage?
It started at 11. You soaked 6 of it, so it would have been 5
I
stun.
just need the 2 damage. It's my AV plus fire resist minus AP. Net hits only attack.
Okay, so the net hits
Get 1.
was just 1.
Alright, my gear doesn't get fired.
Cool. And as the fire temporarily splashes and blinds your vision, you come out of it in your turn. It's your turn. You see Reinhardt to the north fighting easily against 2. He seems completely unhindered. And then the one to the south that you spot.
Let me do my composure check, which is 7. I think 3 or 4 threshold for wolf. Okay, that makes life easy. I'm going to take an arrow and fire back at the one who just shot at me. Spit at me.
Cool. You whip around, knock an arrow, and release.
Yep.
You get 1 net hit.
8p minus 4.
All right, that's 7p. Anything on this arrow, or is she not doing the alchemy stuff?
No, I didn't. I didn't take the time to do any of my alchemy.
All right, but it still strikes true. Cupping his hands into a sort of a two-handed manner, Reinhardt raises his arms way above his head and brings them smashing down on the one that Ruban had shot. The dog just collapses to the ground and his head kind of pops as it hits the concrete with such tremendous force that it just caves in the skull slightly. Ruban, you suddenly feel that the sensation of fear is gone. And it is your turn.
Moving here. Can I see around that corner or not?
Yeah, you can see both the threats. Although the one to the north is probably slightly obstructed.
Then I will take the clearer shot. And just because I have it, I will use the Warhawk.
Sounds good. All right, gonna stick on 2 hits.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of heads left, so.
Oh, rightfully so. Yeah, it dodges out of the way.
I apologize for infecting your rolls.
It's not my ammo, so.
I want you to know that's the only APDS I own.
Those 6
I thought they were stick and shock.
Oh, yeah, if you didn't reload it, then it'll stick and shock.
You gave me a gun. You didn't give me any ammo.
Yeah, I gave you my my speed loader.
Oh, excuse me, that's not what I would have done. Let me roll 2 more. All right, Blue, roll me your willpower plus your logic as the dog tries to stare you down.
So good.
Yeah, you're overcome with that sense of fear, and need to get away from this thing.
Sounds good.
So as Blue turns to back up or to find line of sight, Ruben, you're gonna have one more attack.
All right. Then I'm gonna shoot. And this is gonna be with my Remington.
It's 4 net hits.
So 13p minus 5.
And as Blue, you're still sort of staring at it, getting lost in its eyes, overwhelmed with the fear. And just as you turn to react, the thing's head just sort of whips to the right as it takes the bullet to the brain and collapses onto the ground. The sense of fear dispersing. To the north, you guys can hear a shout And when you look over your shoulder, Reinhardt has the last one sort of held by the neck, and is just in the process of bringing it down to the ground and just crushing its throat with the strength of a giant against the concrete. And he looks up at you and smiles, and starts speaking in a language you don't understand, very excitedly. As we drop out of initiative.
Oh, that was fun.
And Reinhardt will smile and nod, saying some more things, and then he'll kind of shout something towards the ghouls that were watching the entryway, and they will turn and start to jog down the tunnel, telling people that they can come as the three of you sort of ensure the rest of the area is clear and make way for the now refugees. And we snap elsewhere in the Orc Underground, where Blackfeather and Mr. X, you guys are sprinting as quickly as you can up a passage, down another one. You stop at an intersection, you look left, you look right. They both look like identical passageways. You pick one and run, firing off a couple of shots.
Yeah.
It's not long until you hear the sounds of people coming in the other direction.
I start screaming, help, please help me.
Yeah, and as you round the corner, there's 6 knight errant officers. They have shotguns and assault rifles. They're wearing, ballistic helmets. They've got gas masks on. They don't seem to have any exposed skin, hardly at all. And with a blinding light pushed into your eyes, they say, "Stop! On the ground!"
Yeah, I follow their orders immediately.
I'm back now. What happened?
Now we're getting apprehended by the police.
Yeah, you and Mr. X have just ran around the corner and seemingly ran directly into the KE response, who's currently shining a flashlight attached to a shotgun in your face, demanding that you stop and get on the ground.
I do it, and I say slowly, I have a gun. I'm putting it down.
And I'm like super animated. And I'm like, okay, please don't shoot. Please,
Yeah.
please don't shoot. They're back there. Are we safe? Are we safe now?
I sort of follow his lead. What's doing that?
All right, let's go ahead and let's make a roll. Let's see how the initial reaction goes here. What do I want? Do I want etiquette? Do I want con? I mean, I think probably con's appropriate here.
Yeah.
Can
With,
Mr. X help me?
Sure can.
Yeah, you guys
Got
can
first impression
teamwork it.
and everything. Okay. I got first impression and everything. So my -2 is gone. I assume that would be fast talking.
No, not so much. You guys
Okay.
have taken some time to sort of concoct this plan.
That's true. So I'll just re-roll.
Let me let me take a quick look here. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the modifier. So they're suspicious of you, which is a -1. However, you have plausible seeming evidence, which I'll give you +2 for. You put some effort into the situation. And they don't have time to evaluate just yet. So you could take a net of +1 essentially.
Okay, well then be 10. I'll just same thing.
Okay, cool.
All right. So just fast talk, no, or just con, no fast talk.
Yeah, correct. Right. Fast talk would be if you kind of just ran into these guys and on the spot came up with the plan. I think for the intents and purposes of this is something you guys have put some time into. So go take the +3,
Yeah.
and you'll take a +1 as well from the circumstances around what's going on.
Nice.
Very
There we
nice.
go.
All
I think
right.
they believe it.
Well, let's see here. The lieutenant's not a schmuck, so he'll step forward and we'll see what his response. Very nice. So the one with the one next to the guy with the shotgun, will shout out, "Remain where you are. Keep your hands where we can see them." And then he'll shout out, "Luenza, secure that firearm." And one of the officers steps forward and grabs the weapon that you had carefully set next to you.
Yeah.
A few of the other officers rush forward, and you guys can feel the weight of them as they sort of secure your arms, and then oddly get a phone call in the York Underground. I need to run AFK for 1 second. Sorry, guys.
That's all good. No, that was close. We almost didn't convince them.
All right, it was just a robot, so I'm back.
Ah, okay. Nice.
Okay, yeah, you guys can feel the weight as they secure your limbs and they're sort of pressing down on you.
And as they're doing that, I'll let them know that that I have a taser in my inside pocket, on my right side.
It's about as when you say that as they're reaching for it and sort of secure that as well. The lieutenant, though, while this is happening, it says, he says, Parker, Miller, 6, and the two of them will kind of like sprint past you guys and sort of begin to watch the direction you came with their firearms at the ready. And then crouching down, not letting you get off your stomach, but crouching down to sort of be closer to you. Says, my name is Lieutenant Smith. What happened?
Lieutenant Smith.
As he starts talking, I start trying to talk over him as well. Like,
yeah, you guys sort of like both just shout at.
Yeah, exactly. Behind us, they're coming.
He holds up a hand specifically to you, Mr. X. Like, well, not a hand, but a finger. As in like a wait a second.
Okay.
To try to hush you, and then he says, "Who?"
I quiet down.
How many?
Didn't see their face. They pale, very 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 pale. They're
red and black.
Yep, red, brown. I think. They all dress the same. Look like some sort of gang. I
could just hear their screams. God, their screams.
David. I gesture with my head. There's some rats down here. I got him as I was trying to patch him back up. We just heard them coming, and
Davis went down. I heard his screams.
There's more of you still back there?
Yeah, 4 more. I don't know where they are. They didn't follow us.
You can see him as he like awkwardly pushes into his ear and begins to say something into a subvocal.
And I try to take a quick look around and discern what race the people are here.
It's super hard to tell. They almost have no exposed flesh whatsoever. You're currently speaking into a reflective mass that just looks like you.
Oh, it's very pretty then.
Based on mannerisms in the speaking patterns, roll me your intuition plus your logic.
Less wounds.
Yeah. I think wounds apply here. We're gonna say a threshold 3.
Nope.
Yeah, it's too hard to tell.
By the way, do I get an edge for the critical glitch?
No, I won't. I won't. Well, I mean, yeah, no, I'm not gonna apply to that.
I meant for the computer one.
Oh, the computer one. You haven't survived that yet.
All right.
And that's another.
Yeah. And I just start coughing out, and there's tears running down my face. I'm just like, do you have anything to drink? What water? Been running.
He'll gesture for the two officers to sort of help you stand. You guys realize now your hands have been bound behind your back. You may or may not have noticed it until this moment.
Yeah.
But some of the officers sort of grab you by the arms and armpits and sort of like lift you to your feet.
That's nice. Suppose they notice my smile face.
Yeah, I think you got a like a somewhat horrified look from one of the officers that's pulling you up. They seem to sort of be staring back at you, maybe
Yeah,
puzzled.
well-
It's hard to say under the mask.
So
Yeah,
happy
definitely.
that we're safe now.
Yes. Please go back for them. God. I hope he's okay.
And I start like half rambling out a story of how I was hired to find someone's brother who like they thought came down here, and I knew it was rough, so I hired some muscle. And start describing like the orcs and trolls.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, so let's go ahead and seal this deal. We're gonna have you roll another con.
Excellent.
Can I
And-
assist?
Yeah, you know recant your side of this contract essentially, and
Yeah.
the two of you together can sort of weave this tale of this legitimate reason for your being here. We're gonna go ahead and take a +2 for again the evidence.
Okay.
And because of the results of the last one, he's no longer suspicious of you. He's not friendly, but he's now neutral. So yeah, +2 to the assist. You can roll that X.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and then Blackfeather, you can take up to 5 ranks. How many ranks of con do you actually have?
6.
Perfect. Yeah, so you can take a total of +7, 5 from the teamwork, and then 2 from the evidence that you're providing. How do we feel about 7?
I don't want to go to jail. I'm too pretty.
You are too
Maybe
pretty.
edge.
I can only get 3 more in there after my limit, but that seems quite reasonable to spend an edge on.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the alternative for you would be to essentially blow your limits, which would just roll the value of your edge, which is 4, but any 6s you would roll would get to be re-rolled again for a chance at additional hits, and it does not get limited by your actual social limit. So the gamble is with those 4 dice, you could go on a run and get a ton of hits, or you could just roll your remainder and try to get to your limit of 10.
Well, I know math, and I know that's a bad deal.
Yeah, it pretty much is on that roll. There will be days where you do that. Like, had you rolled that first one and got like 13 hits, you might decide to do that. That way you can just keep all 13 of those hits in that type of example.
Yeah.
That's just the number 16. All right, so you hit your limit attack.
Yep.
And he motions and sort of unclips a thing on his belt, of which the name I forgot, and will unscrew the top, a thermos thing. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah,
to say
canteen.
water skin. Canteen, thank you. Like, it's not a water skin. I'm not playing D&D. Yeah, he grabs a canteen and unscrews the top, and like very carefully he'll kind of like take your chin, like lift it up to help you take a sip without your hand. And he'll say,
Oh yeah, and my face has like a nice bruise across it.
well,
I got
yeah,
blood.
very
I got blood
subtly,
splattered all over.
very subtly. You can see him as he's doing this. You notice, both of you notice, he is very obviously examining your flesh.
Yeah. He's gonna see that scar.
And after you take a sip, he says, "It's going to be all right. Help is on the way." And then he goes
Great,
over
thank
to
you.
he goes over to Mr. X and gestures for the canteen.
Yeah, he takes a sip as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And then you notice that your chin is sort of held up for an extra second.
Yeah.
And then he drops it, or not drops your chin, but just lets go and puts the canteen away and shouts out some orders. As 4 of the officers, 5 of the officers, just 4 of the officers sort of gather up and proceed forward in the direction you came from. Him and the last officer will sort of confirm the details, which we won't have to go over. But essentially, you've planted this idea that the 162s may have been attacking people down here and were essentially responsible for your wounds.
Yeah.
And you obviously gave them like directions essentially to the area of the encounter, which was the den.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we were honestly giving him the best directions we could.
Yeah. I mean, keeping in mind you probably don't have exact directions, but just vaguely like where you came from. They can definitely fill in the blank.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right.
And if I was thinking ahead, I had something better that could have happened.
You want to change your story now? See what happens.
No, what I was thinking of is summoning a spirit and giving it the instructions to hide until it saw officer, and then basically have it use Trid Phantasm to have someone dressed in red and brown run down a hallway.
Oh wow.
Man, that would have been good, but oh well.
Hindsight.
Yep.
Okay. So I have something. Yeah. So essentially, what's going to happen is, for what seems like an eternity, but probably only takes about an hour, the 2 of you are detained.
Yeah.
You're led out from the OU, although it's you find yourself in a different entranceway. They did not take the same way that you guys took. You emerge.
I assume they check our sins, right?
Yeah, there's some things that happen behind. They don't really ask permission, is why you don't really know it. But you can probably assume that they know you are, especially because as you sort of get closer to the surface, they're speaking directly to you via your name, which neither of you have provided yet.
Yeah. Wow. Joe Schmo is a private investigator.
Yeah. I was looking over some stuff. Yeah, so you emerge back onto the streets of Seattle after about an hour. Several units of officers passed you in the OU heading towards the den, and eventually you'll be told that they were able to secure the area, but that the 2 of you should not have gone down there, and that the life of your friend will have to serve as a stark reminder of the dangers underneath our city. And they asked you for basically their details. We found no signs of, what was his name? Will
I said
Davis.
Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, they found no signs of Davis. If he's been taken, especially by, well, if he's been taken, then maybe too late.
God. No. No.
He'll put a hand on your shoulder. He'll say, "It's good you got out with your life. You should
Yeah.
remember that."
Thank you, officer. I appreciate everything you. I really do.
And then he sends you a bill,
Of course he does.
and he has you sign some paperwork,
Yeah.
and they will, basically allow you to leave, saying that they'll be in contact.
Okay. Thank you, officer. Thank you again. Thank you so much. And yeah, I turn and grab Blackfeather's arm and start walking down the street quickly. I assume I didn't get my gun back either.
Oh, that's right. We should quickly do some sin check. What's the rating on each of your sins?
4.
4.
And do you have a license for the firearm you were carrying?
I do have a pistol license. Yes.
What rating is that?
4.
I have a legal taser.
Yeah, I'll say they have no trouble handing you the taser back. And yeah, they check the clip in the ammo in the clip.
Yeah, it's just regular ammo.
They
Threw
check
away the APDS.
They check the round in the chamber.
Oh no.
You fired some shots down.
I did fire shots, so no,
You sure
it would
did.
be a regular.
Something to keep in mind for future.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then they'll probably hand you the pistol back. You'll notice the clip is not in it.
Yeah, I expected as much. So I'm down to 2 clips.
And and you guys are then able to essentially walk away. The lieutenant will kind of, you can sort of just feel the presence of him sort of just staring into the back of you as you do. So when you had gotten out, he had actually taken off his helmet, and you could see that he was an orc human, or excuse me, orc man.
Okay.
Excellent. As soon as we're out of earshot, I lean into Mr. X and whisper, I suppose you got either of their comm codes.
I just know his name is Officer Smith.
That's not who I was talking about.
Oh, the other guys. No, I didn't.
And we flash back down to the den, essentially, which we as players or characters don't get to see it, but the players we can see as several KE squads are essentially tearing apart piece by piece the den, and they discover the bodies and the other clues left, and are just destroying the place, looking for more evidence. Then we travel down the tunnel back to the hunting grounds, where huddled in some of the cubbies are the community members of the den, protected by Blue and Ruban, Reinhardt and Thomas, and several of the other fighters amongst the den. They're all very quiet and patiently waiting. You can hear just in the echoes of the underground the sounds of their home being ripped apart. But you're safe, and they do not investigate down this tunnel and find you. And after an hour or two, the sounds go away, and you can hear them leaving, seemingly safe now.
Oh. I assume I would just say to Blackfeather, I guess we can meet them at the Ale and Whale. I could use a drink after this.
Well, are you any good with electronics?
Just chuckles. No.
Any way to tell if they're they put a back trace on our?
No. I don't know. They could have. I mean, they're probably going to keep an eye on us for a few days. Maybe we shouldn't go there. I know a good place. Club Penumbra. Maybe we can find somebody there who can help us out. I know the owner.
All right. In the meanwhile, I turn my comm link off.
Sounds good. So just like walking down the middle of the street, essentially. It's a quiet street, but just thematically, the two of you, you kind of toggle your comm link off, put it back in a pocket, and just begin to walk casually into the sunrise.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, Blue and Ruben, Thomas thanks you, and despite the circumstances of their home, he is glad that everybody is safe.
Yeah, so I guess we meet up in a day or two, or
Who's
something.
gonna look at Thomas like, what money did you have for this?
Says we have the remainder of the funds left by. Oh God, I forgot his name. Who's the Jewish dude?
I forgot to. I know who you're talking about. Albie.
Albie. Yes, his
Something like that.
his funds. There's 20,000 in it.
Blue will take that.
Says if it causes KE to look more harshly into the 162s, then the loss of our safe place will possibly be worth it. Perhaps relocating to another district, as you suggested, is the best course of action. Says we'll remain here for the time, but if we can, well, I suppose we'll figure it out. And he'll thank you both again, and yeah, you're pretty much paid and allowed to leave.
Well, I have no way of knowing my way back, so I'm just gonna follow Blue.
Blue will leave, and she will give Ruben 5K on the way out.
Yeah, you eventually make your way back to the surface. You have to take some interesting routes because of the police presence over the next couple of hours. But you eventually emerge back onto the streets of Seattle. Do you want to try to reach out at all to your teammates, Blue, or what's up?
Yeah, probably some point just after some time has passed and we get back, I will. No, I won't even bother to reach out to them. I will just leave a card stick with 10K on it at Louis with Louis in case they show back up.
Okay.
Or to tell them to get it to their fixers if they have a different fixer.
Yeah, I don't think you recognized either of the runners as at least established Louis runners, but he says that he was contacted by some people, and he can see that they received their money. And we'll go ahead and say that is the end of, what do I name this run? You must crawl before you can run. With everybody still alive, more or less. Let me get your final run rewards here. It'll just take a moment for me to calculate. Let us see. The highest dice pool. Well, you each get 5,000 new yen as cash reward. 5,000 new yen for that. I survived. You completed some objectives. Highest adventure challenge. Was 14, so that'd be 2. And then it was a good feelings run. So you'll receive 5,000 new yen and a total of 7 karma.
Was it
Oh,
good feelings? We got them chased out of their home.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fair point. It was intended to be a good feelings run.
Yeah, we kind of had to deal with a mess we created.
No, that's
We
a good
help
point.
people.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, guys, I do have to reduce that by 2. You'll get 5,000 yen and 5 karma.
Yeah, well.
As Nakoya reminds the teacher that you didn't get homework over the weekend.
Sorry. We did murder a bunch of people. I ate them, and then we.
I mean, that's status quo. They were not good people. That wouldn't have impacted anything. But no, the loss of the den will be pretty significant.
Yeah. It'd be tough
and,
for them to find a new place.
and now you can have an edge back for surviving that critical glitch.
Yay!
Just because our edge regains in real time, that's an important thing to keep in mind. So, just in case you run again, right away. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. Thanks for listening. If you were.